Hougue Bie in the Channel Island of Jersey is a truly curious place. Home to the world's largest Celtic coin hoard. A reconstructed Neolithic longhouse built by volunteers. A memorial to slave labourers under the Nazi occupation of the island during the Second World War, including Russians, Ukrainians, French and Spanish. 2 medieval chapels at the top of the mound with well-preserved murals. And as one of the highest points on the island, it serves as a place of ritual to this day. But buried deep inside the mound, a 6,000-year-old secret lay hidden from view right up until 1924, when the astonishing Neolithic burial chamber, one of the oldest buildings in the world, with a mysterious alignment with the equinox sunrise, was finally uncovered. Stepping into the hidden passage for the first time a century ago would have been an extraordinary moment. And it is an honour to have been asked to celebrate 100 years of the excavation with a new surround installation. I always like to start a new piece with some research, so I met Peter, guardian and expert on the site.
It's easy to speculate, it's easy to think if you spend time in here that every single upright stone must have had a significance to them. We've got this rather lovely pyramid of stones in the corner there. So this particular stone here is the only one really that shows signs of human decoration with these cut marks. The side chambers where internments were traditionally made, so bones were traditionally placed in the side chambers of passage graves. And certainly the human bone that was recovered from here was, fragmentary, very small stuff from about 8 individuals. So on a good equinox morning with a clear sky, the chamber itself is flooded with orange light. It seems to bounce off all the granite surfaces. As the sun rises, the shaft of light, a red shaft of light, slips across the floor as the sun rises. When you've seen it happen a few times, you cannot believe that it is accidental. I'm just impressed that it's 6,000 years later when the sun comes up. It still works. Like all, religious structures, temples, churches, it is a place to talk to the gods where you're not in the world, you're halfway to the next world, you're among the dead, you're among your ancestors.
After trying out a lot of ideas for the passage, including the rather experimental concept of a Stone Age choir, I hit on the idea of simply using stones, a lot of stones. I'm already into geology and paleontology, and I go to the World Stone Skimming competition every year.
Go on!
But this was a brilliant excuse to put my love of stone into music for the first time. Aiming to use samples of every type of stone that would have been available to our mysterious Stone Age ancestors, I went to learn more from geologists Paul Chambers and Steph Forster.
Jersey has the most extraordinary range of rocks. We have very old rocks, we have very young rocks. We have to start off with our oldest one, which is this one here. This is our Jersey shale, and probably about a third of our island is made of this stuff.
Jersey Shale Formation, which formed about 600 million years ago. So that was sort of before life on Earth, or major life on Earth. There was potential trace fossils and soft-bodied small organisms. So it's like a turbidity current, so all this material goes off the continental shelf and basically lays down in layers, and over sort of time, heat and pressure forms the rocks, which are the Jersey Shale Formation. So Jersey is here, and this is sort of plate tectonics when everything's moved around. So it's completely different to what we know today. And then moving forward, we
This
get
is pre-Cambrian.
Pre-Cambrian, sort of 600 million years ago, something like that. We start to get closure of this ocean, and we've got a subduction zone where the oceanic crust goes underneath the other oceanic crust, and we get a volcanic building episode. And we've got the andesites, we've got ignimbrite, so that's like a pyroclastic flow, so you've got like gases and bits of rock, and you've got lava coming out.
We've got the hot molten rock sat in a big blob under there, and we have those preserved as well, and that is the famous Jersey granite. And we've got some examples here. This is the sort of classic granite. It's crystalline, it's extremely hard. It probably took millions of years to cool down into that sort of state. It's an excellent building stone. I suppose our last hard rock, the real proper hard rock, was put down in a desert. So it's a sedimentary rock. It's this. It was a desert that was right at the top of the mountain. There was no life there. And you can see it's full of these pebbles and things. And that's because periodically there would be these enormous flash flood events. And so you would get all this debris tumbling down, and it would go onto an outwash plain, and they lay there in a sort of these sort of layers, meters thick, and that's the result. That's our conglomerate, which makes up most of the northeast of our island.
And then from there, we don't really have any other deposition of rocks on Jersey. We do find flint on the beach. That's basically from the Cretaceous period, so White Cliffs of Dover. We don't actually have anything on Jersey like that, but we have it between us and the UK and us and France, and that's why it washes up on the beach. So the chalk sort of erodes away, but it leaves the flint nodules, which are a lot harder, and they get washed up onto the beaches.
Do you have a favourite
Rock?
Favourite Jersey rock?
They've all got interest. The Jersey shell is obviously quite interesting just because it's so prolific in Jersey, like we have it a lot. Yeah, I really like the andesite with all the crystals, that's quite cool. The granite's obviously beautiful, but I think that's everyone's favourite, so I'm not sure that's mine. It's too easy, isn't it? The conglomerate's really cool as well, and flints obviously can be very pretty. You can get lots of different types of flint, can't you? So yeah.
And then finally, we get deposits and things that are associated with what they call interglacial deposits. So when the climate was warmer, as it is now, the sea level would rise up, and those deposits are around the edge of our island as well. And sometimes, if we're very, very lucky, and in particular circumstances, you actually get archaeological remains in there as well. So we have Neanderthal tools, we have the remains of mammoths and other sorts of fauna that they were hunting, going right the way through into our modern sort of age now. So geology of Jersey, such a small island, absolutely fantastic, and there is no shortage of things to do if you're looking for the geological experience here.
With a big head start thanks to the geologists, who kindly gave me some great samples, it was time to head out and explore the island in search for some resonating rocks. Though not every stone was suitable for music.
No good. Skimmer.
It was then time to head into the studio. We've now got a really wonderful collection of samples we can use to record. On this table, a whole load of different types of rocks, including sandstone, many types of granite. We have apatite, diorite, rhyolite, flint nodules, limestone, all kinds of things. It's a wonderful collection. And over here on this table, there's shakers of different sizes. I haven't actually counted, but I'm hoping this collection has under the 150 stones that we're allowed to take. And lots of other different types of granite. I'd probably prefer to skim this one. Rhyolite and apatite. This one is Eocene limestone from the sea floor. We have to be really careful with this one. We're not allowed to cut it or break it, so I'll be handling it quite delicately. It's actually making really quite a beautiful sound, this one. It's resonating quite cleanly, so that's quite exciting. And this is an absolutely priceless fossil. It's the tooth of a megalodon, but thankfully they're so strong you can't snap. No, it's actually slate. We tried as many combinations and techniques as we could think of. Shaking, tapping, rolling, white noise oscillations across the microphone, trickling, and my favourite, the wobble. While all this was going on, I'd asked brilliant stone sculptor Derek Tristram to design and build 2 lithophones for our percussionists to play. Made from stone blocks, lithophones are rare in the West.
If you had a big block of stone and you broke it into different sections with different thicknesses, how would that work as a concept? I don't know, even a triangular form, like that triangular feel. Might take a bit of fine tuning, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to replicate what you do with wood.
Look, I bet that's got its own natural resonance as well here.
It's amazing, really, when you think about it. There's a lot going into all of this, isn't there?
And Derek really came up with something very special
And there's a whole load of these
that I think will be enjoyed by generations of musicians. Finally, putting it all together, and after many, many hours of work, I hope that I've created something new from stone that fits this wonderful ancient stone construction. With huge thanks to Delta Sound and Commercial Electronics, who did a great job installing the lighting and speakers, to the brilliant painting team who camouflaged the speakers as stones, to Jersey Heritage and Société Jersiaise for your faith and creative freedom, to Paul Chambers and Steph Forster, and to Dylan for your fantastic help. Just remember to throw it at about 20 degrees to the horizontal.
Hey, not too bad.
Lithophilia Surround is on at Hougue Bie until December the 20th, 2024, and will be available in stereo on streaming services from 2025. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to know what you think in the comments.
Thank you very much. Fiddling with the gears for ages. Sorry, Arthur Murrell. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you. Arthur Murrell. Arthur Murrell, yeah, lovely to meet you. Arthur Murrell. Future member of the Royal Society. Set up the hospital path lab. Compass and apparatus then needed for flashlight photography. And in the chamber I take what I believe is the first photograph ever taken of the interior. Here it is.